Congratulations on 13 minutes.
Oh, thank you.
Can you just very briefly describe the outline of the story of 13 minutes?
Well, it basically depicts the years of the life of Georg Elser, who is pretty much unknown to the world, who in 1939 tried to kill Hitler with a bomb in the Bürgerbräukeller in Munich and failed. So we start with him attempting to kill Hitler there and then being arrested, and then we see him being interrogated by the Gestapo, which then leads to cutting back in time into the earlier years of his. And it jumps back and forth between him and his developing into this plan to having to take out Hitler and being harshly, brutally interrogated by the Gestapo.
Pretty much everybody knows about the Stauffenberg conspiracy to assassinate Hitler. How well known is Esler's story both inside Germany and internationally?
I think internationally it's absolutely unknown. I hope the film changes that now. In Germany, if you'd ask people about Georg Elser, let's say half a year ago, they wouldn't know. The film luckily did quite a bit for people being aware of him now, and at the anniversary of his death, which was earlier this year, lots of ceremonies were held, and there were exhibitions and long, big articles. So the Germans they know him now, but it took decades until this happened. It was really suppressed information.
Really suppressed information? Suppressed or just forgotten?
In the past decades, forgotten. Before that, suppressed. There was a lot of foul talk about Georg Elser. You know, right after his attempt to kill Hitler, the English and the Americans spread the rumor that he was in fact an agent of the Nazis, being paid by the Nazis themselves to set this plot to try to kill Hitler, only to make sure that Hitler was protected by God himself, that there was no way to kill Hitler, not even with a perfectly constructed bomb. The Nazis spread the rumor that he was a puppet of the English intelligence service. And then on top of that, they spread the false information that he was a communist, which in the 60s and the 70s, in the time of the Cold War, of course, was very bad news as well. So all that together led to I think suppressed information or purposely wrong information, I think is the right thing to say.
Now, you have had an interest in the Second World War and with Hitler ever since you were a kid, I understand. Now, we've got this movie which is reminding us that not all Germans were Nazis. One of the screenwriters also did Sophie Scholl, which had the same message. Oliver, is there an unofficial program of re-educating the world through cinema about what happened during the war in Germany?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think what we're doing basically is to shed more light onto our own history, because even though there's generations after now, it's still I find it very hard to come to terms with the horror that we are responsible for. We were responsible for, and will always be in the future. We'll always be the people of perpetrators. So I think there's an internal need to deal with this and shed light on it from as many possible perspectives, including humor, of course, including comedy, even to deal with that. It's not, and we don't do it for the world, really. I think my feeling is we do it for ourselves. in the beginning. But then, I'm a filmmaker. It is interesting, fascinating characters and stories, right? And haunting characters and horrible characters, and that is the stuff that movies are made of.
Are you happy that the film has enlightened a lot of people inside Germany about this character?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel very, I don't think I ever felt as close to a character as I feel towards Georg, because he's, in a way, he's one of us. He's an artist. He's a free spirit. He's a bit of a hippie. He's a charmer. The ladies like him. I can relate to this man. I think if he came around the corner today, I think we would be friends. So that made it even more enjoyable to do this film. And it was very enjoyable making this film. Downfall was hard work. Making Elsa, making Elsa was I would say maybe together with 5 Minutes of Heaven, which I did with Liam, the two most enjoyable films to shoot.
Now, given that you wanted to really educate and illuminate people about this character, I want to know why, given that documentaries are much cheaper to make, why a director opts for the feature film route rather than the documentary route. Why are feature films more impactful when it comes to changing people's minds?
Because a feature film operates on emotions and dreams, and tries to involve the audience in a way that they become part of the story, while a documentary is basically based on information and facts, which can be as fascinating, but it is much harder to involve the audience, to really make them feel, on a personal level.
This is such a well-directed film. I've got to know, how do you get so much suspense into a film, the ending of which everybody knows?
I guess that's the craft of storytelling in film. Students ask me that. I can't tell you. I can't. I just try to put myself in the position of the audience, and I'm like, what would I want to see now? What do I need to know now? What am I getting here, and what am I giving them here, and what am I not? And it's a constant re-evaluating where you are in the story, and then Elsa, to a certain extent, will always be a riddle, because nobody really we can't really talk to him now, right? I have to rely on the accounts and the descriptions and on the interrogation protocols, and you just, I think it is an energy thing. I believe it is. Somehow I'm in touch with the spirit. That may sound a little esoteric, but when I'm making a film, I'm starting to have these visions. I see images, I see situations, and if they match what I know about the character, I put that into the film. And it's a bit, for me, the way I work is painting. Really, I'm not, I don't follow a strict strategy. I often make things up on the set, and it's like being in front of a big canvas, going until it's finished.
And what is your attitude to factual accuracy? Did you change or alter any facts? Did you take any dramatic license with this historical drama?
No. This is, most of what you see there has happened the way you see it. We, of course, take liberties when it comes to very intimate scenes like the lovers in the kitchen or in the bedroom, because obviously nobody is there. But then again, that's based on the accounts. Like if you get people describing Elsa and Elsa, his big love, and we talk to the daughter, and you combine. So you have the accounts, personal accounts, and descriptions of what has happened, and then I think by then you pretty much know the characters. And yes, you're making something up, but I think if you do a thorough job there. It is very authentic.
You must be so pleased that Downfall has become the definitive Hitler movie.
Well, yeah. Yes, it makes me proud, but is it? Yeah, no, it makes me proud, yes.
And I've got to ask, mate, we've got you here on the record. What did you learn from your Hollywood experience making The Invasion?
Never start. Even though the big studio bosses tell you you're ready, it will be fine. Never start a film when the script is not ready.
Will you go back to Hollywood and make another film there?
Oh, yes, any day. The problem is the films that they make in Hollywood now are not exactly what I'm good at, you know. I'm amazed when I see these superhero films. I have no clue how they make them, you know. They're very well made. I wouldn't know how to do it, and the stories sort of take me back into the 50s, you know, into the 50s and the 60s, because I read all these comic strips, and back then as a boy, I had fun reading these, the Marvel and the DC comics, but even then I thought they were a bit silly, right? And now all this seems to be common sense, you know. So right now there's not much out there for me, if you know what I mean.
Mate, Diana wasn't such a bad movie, yet it was the magnet of so much hatred. What did you take away from that experience? It was bizarre.
You always try your best. You never know how the world deals with a film, how they see it. At some point, people decided, I think it's the English basically, that they hated the film and that they wanted to hate the film, that they did not want to like the film, which basically is not much more than just a chapter in the life of this character, Diana. She's an unhappy, lonely person who falls in love with a Pakistani heartthrob. There's not that much more to it, and I thought it was a lovely story. But they didn't want that. You know, George had just been born, and everybody was sort of pink eyes, pink. How do you call that? They had pink glasses on. Yeah. All of a sudden,
rose-colored glasses.
Happy about the monarchy, and then the left-wing faction, the anti-monarchists, thought it was too soft on Diana, right? So they just didn't like it. But that's part of the game, you know. There are no guarantees in life.